Can you tell us about that sweatshirt?
This is all me all the way. This is loud, diva-like.
And it lights up.
Yeah, it lights up. That's what's up. I saw it in the store. Christmas, which I think is a beautiful holiday. It's pretty, and it lights up, and it has energy. This sweater shows Dina, bouncy kangaroo, energy. That's what I am. I'm Dina Buno. I'm the star and the diva of this wonderful movie here. This is the wonderful Antonio Santini, Dr. Love. And this is the wonderful Dan Sickles, Pickles sometimes. Guys, can you tell me why you actually thought of me to tell your story? I'm so honored.
Well, you know, because I had known you for a very long time, right?
28 years.
Exactly. So since I took my first breath.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, I've been kept up to date on like all the major events of your life, and I feel like I've been included in them for a while. And when you told me that you were going to marry Scott, you know, I thought that it was a really good opportunity to just kind of investigate like what that whole experience would be like for you. You know, because I think of you as someone who you've persevered through a lot, you know, and you've overcome a lot of obstacles in a really gracious and dignified way, I think.
Well, thank you.
And yeah, and that's. So then, what was it like when we came to you and we were like, let's make a film?
You told me that you wanted to make a film of a woman who lived on her own for 30 years, that had a boyfriend, and that was a success, that had autism spectrum disorders and had a rough journey finding herself.
Well, how did you feel? How did you feel then when we said that?
I was thrilled and ecstatic.
Yeah, right away?
Right away. I was like, oh my God, you know, it's everything I've dreamed of. Movies, cameras, movie stars, movies, cameras, whatever. Bring it on, parties, drinking. I can't wait to have a drink.
Drinking?
Yeah, sorry. Where can I start? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Growing up, I was very misunderstood. All my life, I know this sounds crazy, and now it doesn't seem too hard for me, but there was a lot of my life I had to work so hard to be like quote unquote normal. It was always exhausting. And I learned to let my hair down in the last 10 years after going through a lot of tragedy. And being in a relationship is really hard. And I learned to like kind of take charge.
And you've always been doing that.
I've always worked, but it seems to be exhausting for people on the spectrum in life in general, but I kind of enjoyed working with you, kind of modeling your behavior as people who were typical, you know, having the lives that I've wanted, that I couldn't always have.
Every time that you invited us to your house to hang out and shoot, every time we would drive back to New York, we're having conversations in the car going like, oh wow, like this is what we learned from Dina today. And then for our next trip back to your house, we're coming back with that idea, what you said, and trying to continue that sentence and keep it going. So I think every trip for us with you was kind of like, we just wanted to go further and further and further into your relationship that you were letting us watch.
Wow, and I'm impressed. Another thing.
Well, and I also think that like you personally have taught us a lot. You
really?
know? Yeah, I think you've taught us a lot about ourselves and about like
what?
About what we want from relationships, about how to, you know, never give up, sort of searching for love and connection and affection. Mm-hmm. You know, I think that you're somebody who's very, you're very brave in that pursuit.
Really?
You know, and I think that, you know, Antonio and I, like, again, like when we're driving back from after shooting with you, like that's one thing that we would talk about a lot, you know, on a personal level. And
even like at the engagement party when we were there, I mean, we spent a good amount of time there trying to stand back and restrain ourselves from interrupting anything. So we got to really watch how all of your community, everyone is so individual to themselves and so specific, yet you guys all come together. seeing how you guys are respectful and open to each other's differences also kind of, I think, forced us to kind of relax a little bit and, you know, be more okay with, you know, like, okay, like I'm a weirdo. Like I'm pretty weird too. Okay, and that's okay. Like, and then almost being like, oh, and my weird parts are my best parts. And then
Right.
and then just trying to be, you know, with your shoulders more relaxed and be like, okay, I can express these things and I don't have to punish myself for them or think that someone's gonna dislike them. You know, the environment that you guys create for each other, everyone's having the most fun. To experience that together, even though we weren't like, officially partying with you guys, there is actually an iPhone video of the crew in the background dancing while you
Right.
guys are dancing behind the scenes. And it's like, I didn't remember that was even being filmed, but it was like, we were like, you know, vibing with you guys because it was such a nice celebration how you guys did it.